Now let's go over to Walker's Ceramics. I definitely need some more clay as I have used most of this up. So let's go. So we have arrived. We are at Walker's Ceramics. So let's go in. Let's see what's inside, because I do need to pick up some powdered glazes. They even have some trolleys to carry the big glazes and clays out, which is super cool. So anyway, let's get going. We are inside Walker's Ceramics, and it is quite a compact store. So here is where all of the clays are, some powders and so many more glazes, colours. They have equipment. I mean, there's so much to be in here. This is the store that is the closest to my house. My daughter Em did come along today with my beautiful, beautiful grandchildren. Now, the next thing I have been doing today is I have been on the wheel here. This is my trimming wheel. So a part of my YouTube channel is I did actually get this gifted to me to do a review on, so which is what I did a while back. So anyway, you can see all the little remnants, but you can recycle all of those. So I have trimmed them up. So let's go over to the other side. I'll show you some of those. And then we also need to organize the glaze and the glaze powder. We'll put all of this together, and hopefully, you know, we can make this successful. And then let's go and have a look in the kiln. So in here, I have done many little bowls. So these are just like little ice cream bowls. I want to actually do these in, you know, kind of pinks and raspberries and sort of whites, but I'm hoping to be able to use more of like a flux to give it a bit of a rundown kind of look. Anyway, that is my thought. They are still drying. They're almost dry, but you can see, you know, shadows of darkness, which means they're not totally dry. The next thing I've been working on is my little coasters. You can see I partly painted one. I had to go back to Walker's to get some more of the kiwi glaze in Christmas red, because that's the red I use on the mushrooms. And then these little darlings, these are actually part of my little dried flower little wall hangers. So they'll be able to hang on the wall. Let me see if I can grab one while we're chatting. And then this is basically what they look like. So once they're dried, we will organize them. These are done in earthenware. I wanted to give this a try because I really do love the super gloss glaze. That is my favorite clear glaze. But it doesn't want to be friends with my mid-fire. So I bought the powdered one, seeing whether the formula is a little different from powder to liquid, and then we will see. Also here, this is mid-fire, some more plates. We have to glaze those, so I will need to organize some dipping glazes for those. And then down here, last but definitely not least, these are my little cute vases that I've done. So these ones are going to have some little, you know, pretend or dried flowers. I'll just sort of sit a daisy or something in those at markets to show everyone. And then these are also tiny little vases, just in different shapes. So that's what I have been working on at the moment. So, but let's go out into the studio, or the shop as I usually call it, and let's see this kiln. Now I did hear a massive crack when I was when the kiln was on yesterday, or the day before. It was the day before yesterday. So I'm not holding up any hope that it's going to be good. But anyway, let's go and check it out. So here is our bucket full of 5 litres of water, and we are going to be mixing up this one. So we'll put the bucket on the ground. I need to go and get a mask, because you do need to wear a mask when you're mixing things like this. And then this is 5 kilos of the super gloss glaze. So when you're mixing it up, this is what you have to do. So basically you're going to have your water, which is pretty much equal portions, honestly, about 5 kilos to 5 kilos of water. Then you're literally just going to pour the water gently, the powder gently into the water, give it a mix, and then you're going to leave this overnight. And then tomorrow we will come back, we will skim the water off the top, mix it again, and see how it's going to go. Now the thing with using glazes like this, you really want to make sure that these glazes you can dip something in. So there's no good doing it, and I've made this mistake before where you make 1 litre of it, where you can't really dip anything in, and then it gets so thick that it leaves like a milky residue or something on the outside because it's just too thick and it doesn't melt right. It really looks a bit rubbish. So anyway, we're going to do the right thing, aren't we? Get all this organized and so on. So let's organize things and let's pop in the powder. But of course, I'm going to go and grab a mask before we do that. So this is what it looks like in the bucket. So I think this is about a 15 litre bucket here. So in here, there's 5 kilos of each. So 5 kilos of water, basically, or 5 litres of water. And of course, we do have 5 kilos of the powder. This is the super gloss we're using. So basically, I've just got a ruler here, and we just want to basically mix it in. So this is probably going to make about 8.5 litres of mixture, but you know, you don't know, so it just depends. So basically, once we actually make this, let it sit overnight. We will drain off the little bit of water. Then we need to put this through a sieve, so you need to have an extra super good sieve. I forgot to buy one, so I'm gonna have to go back to the shop tomorrow to get one. And then we're going to do that. And then what you have to do is add a little bit of water, tiny bit at a time, until the mixture is the right consistency, which is basically like kind of full cream milk. So not thick like cream or anything, more like a milk sort of mixture. Otherwise it's so thick and it's just not good. So we're going to leave this. I'm going to pop the lid back on in a minute after I mix it up. And then we're going to get everything else organized, and we're going to go and take a look at the kiln. Okay, everyone, we are at the kiln. I have slightly opened it to take a peek, and it isn't good. Now, this is what I wanted to talk about with pottery. This is why pottery is not cheap to buy, because many times, many things just go wrong. And when it was on, I heard a ping ping, and I thought, oh no, that's a crack. So let's open up, and straight away we can see a massive disaster with the green. So we will get these hideous looking things out, and I will show you. Now the ping ping that I did here was this. You can see a massive crack that is clearly no good. Nobody's going to love that. The glaze looks not very nice as well. It is definitely, I think, underfired. I tried something else in my kiln at the moment. Actually, I know I don't have cones in here because I can't get any. They're actually not coming until June or something. This one worked out okay with the clear glaze, surprisingly today, because usually the clear glaze is the problem. And I can also see on here, it's quite just, you can see that it's just on one side there's too much glaze, one side there's not enough glaze. And yeah, so I think these ones may have to be in the bin. And when I actually put the glaze on this one, I did notice it wouldn't even take. And I thought, why? What is wrong with this? Anyway, I actually think what I did with these cups is I over bisqued them, because I noticed they were really orange and they just sort of didn't have the same sound as the others. So, and look, it's not pretty. Look, let's be honest here, it's not. So, although when you look at the clear glaze, that's worked okay. And usually the clear glaze doesn't love me. But I'm going to use this one to, we're going to pour some water in it. We will see if it gets thermal shock. What can we do? But anyway, so let's pop this camera down. Let's have a look at these hideous looking ones. Hopefully we're going to get a good one in this, but what can we do? Hey, it's just the way it is. This is a part of pottery. You have to expect disasters. Anyway, let's get the rest out. Righty-o, I'm sorry my hair looks crazy, but it has been raining and I'm trying to grow it a little bit so I can get this new hairdo. But anyway, so like I said, you know, these are no good. They're really just, you know, it's crawled, it's bubbled. Anyway, not good. And I kind of had this feeling, and you can kind of hear this hollow kind of sound. So you just know it's not good. Some things you can fix, you can refire. That you can't with a big crack like that. And that was a part of this dome. So it's a bit sad. The dome has also cracked on the inside, which I kind of had this feeling it would because the top of the dome here did crack. So sadly, that dome, is rubbish. Not good, is it? I'm kind of feeling like this is underfired a lot of things. So this is one of my little coasters, which is my little frogs. And usually the frogs are quite, you know, glossy. But I feel like he's not very glossy. Like I said, I've been working with a few different glazes to try them out. And I'm really, the clear glazes is my struggle. But it's just the way it is. So that is another little fun coaster or magnet. Somebody actually said to me these would be better as a coaster, and I kind of agree because then it can sit in its tummy. And I do have more of those, so we might make those into a coaster. But the little mushroom did come out pretty cute, didn't it? So I'm happy with that. And I'm sorry about my hands being all messy. I'll just pop that one in there. So I'm going to just take the shelves out. So we've got the big shelves. And yeah, what can I do? So anyway, I'm going to flip the camera just so you can see the second shelf. And I'm actually happy to say it does look a little better. Fingers crossed. I'm going to need a good bit here. Okay, this is the second shelf. I've, enlarged the image so that you can see a bit better. So I do think it is a little better. Let me just have a look at this one. It's kind of not too bad. He does have a bit of a glossy feel. This was one I was just playing around with, just an old cookie cutter. Anyway, it's a tiny little giraffe. It's nothing exciting. But anyway, maybe he can have a tiny magnet, or I might give it away. Sometimes I give away a few things to children that come to my stall. But these ones looking cute. So I have a whole series of these in just different colours. So look, I think the second shelf is more successful. And for me, generally the second shelf honestly is more successful anyway. And I kind of feel like this frog here, he's more like what I'm trying to look for. In the glaze. It just looks a little bit better than the other one. Look, I think the other one's probably fine. There's no good putting him back in again. And then this is going to be a little magnet. Super cute. Anytime I do anything like this, people like them. But anyway, these are my little coasters and magnets. So the second shelf was good. So now let's go in and have a look at the next shelf. Okay, so this is the third shelf and it's not really much better. The little mushrooms here, it's not hot enough. It has not got to hot enough. There's a few little beads in here. These ones look okay. Honestly, I think the last clear glaze I used just was not good for what I'm doing. So it just wasn't a good fit, and it wasn't a good fit for my kiln. So you also have to work with your kiln. So the kiln that I've got, it's older and it's got a few problems, like we're not getting the heat source that we want and so on. So if I want it to get to 250, I need to ramp it to 300 to get to that. So I'm pretty sure that the thermocouple needs to be changed. So anyway, I'm probably saying the wrong word. I think I mixed up my word there. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But, I need to just take a look at some things and change them. So anyway, I've got this new glaze. So tomorrow we are going to load this up again. I'm going to do a bit of a test glaze along with a couple of other things that I'd already pre-glazed to go in here. And let's see. So I'll show you this so you can see how thick the glaze was. The last one, it really didn't work great. If this one doesn't, I'm literally going to cry because I'm a bit over it. But anyway, we will just see, won't we? There's nothing I can do. I think this piece is kind of ruined, really. But yeah, anyway, and sometimes what I do is I keep them, and look, somebody will want them for $5. So pretty much that's what I'm going to have to do, is sell them really cheap, which is a bit of a shame because the cow, he's super popular. But this one here and the bee at the back, I might actually refire these, and we'll see what's going to happen. But anyway, that's it. So I think it's a bit of a disaster, let's be honest here. And this is my daughter's one that she painted. Yeah, the glaze just isn't shiny. It's not beautiful. Anyway, it is what it is. So this is what is happening today in here. So crazy. Anyway, hopefully I can do a little better in future with my kiln. But, you know, it's just such a working progress. It absolutely is. Anyway, I will let you go. I'm going to see you on the next one. Thanks for watching, friends.